Hey YouTube, and thank you for watching Junkworks DIY Garage. Well, I am with my Eastwood MiG 175 here, and I'm getting ready to weld some rust up on my '04 Jeep Liberty here up in the roof of it. Unfortunately, that's become a much bigger job than I was hoping. But regardless, I have some 030 wire on here, and although I could probably do this job with that, I have some 025 and that'll work better, especially since we are dealing with some rust. It'll just less chance of blow through, and it's fairly thin metal, so I'm going to switch this over. So I figured I'd go ahead and bring you along for the ride on how you switch over your wire, hopefully without getting a bird's nest or rat's nest, as many people call it. First of all, I clipped off the little ball end on the other end of the wire here. And if I can, I like to try to pull it back through if I can. And the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to flip this and bring that up, so hopefully that takes some of the tension off here. There we go. And then I'm just going to spool this on in. Now, the biggest thing is you want to pay attention here. Once you see, well, there's some little corrosion on here. I need to get a thing for that. But once you start seeing the tip come through this section here, you got to be real careful. I'm kind of putting my finger on the wire here as I do this, up underneath here. I can feel where the wire is, so I'm just kind of holding that there. In fact, I'll just keep attention on it for now too. And yeah, disaster can strike. I've had it had it happen to me, not on this particular machine, but in the past when I was first learning how to weld. I had a few rat's nests or bird's nests, whatever people want to call them. But you could just cut this here and get rid of the rest. Okay, it just came through right there. So I'm going to keep a hold of this. Put my finger down in here, and there we go. So there it is, right there. Now, this actually just has a thing right here you push. You don't actually have to unscrew it, and you can get a hold of it. And I gotta get better hold of it here. Okay. Alright, so there we are. This is what you want to be careful with. If I let go of this whole thing will just kind of spool around. So what I'm going to do is, there's holes right here on the side, and that one is not as good as I would like, so I'm just going to hold this, bring this around till I get this one right here, and then I'm still holding here. I'm going to flip this around, go through that hole, bring that through, and Bob's your uncle, so to speak. You could throw a couple through. In fact, I'm going to, just to make sure. Now obviously you've ruined a little bit of this wire, but all in all, I'm happy with that. I'm going to keep that in there. I'm going to actually be careful opening the next box of wire up, because I think I got rid of this box. I have some previous videos on this wire and stuff, and the shipping I definitely had some problems with. So I'm going to set this down here for now, get it out of my way. And I can't remember if I spooled the machine when I put it together or not for you, so I'll go ahead and just do that in this video as well. So hopefully you can see this. Quite honestly, this is the first time I've done this, so I'm not even positive, but I believe. I'll put that up for now, if it'll stay up, get it out of my way. Right here, we got this cap that is kind of holding this roller on here. And on here, I believe, if you look at that, I don't know, I zoomed in This says 0.6, and this says 0.6 to 0.8. Now usually, wait, no, 0.8 or 0 to 0.9 is what that says. And usually you got your 030, 022. I honestly have no idea what these are, but usually also the side that the stamp is on is actually the opposite side. So if I put this in, like this should say 030 right here. But on this particular one, it is stamped backwards from what I'm used to, because I can see these grooves, and there's a bigger groove here and a smaller groove here. So I'm assuming that's the 023, and this is probably 030 to 035 is what I'm assuming. But this stamping, I'll say with this machine, is not what I'm used to or what I've dealt with in the past. But I'm not an expert. It's been a long time since I've learned anything about welding. It's been quite a while since I've done a whole lot of real legitimate welding like I'm about to get doing, so I'm going to do some practicing. But this says 0.8 and 0 to 0.9. So the actual where the groove is what's stamped on here. And I could be wrong about that, but I always thought that what was out was what your inner one, or whatever it would be originally riding on. And this rides along the inner one. So I'm going to put the smaller side, which is over here, this 0.6. Or is it 0.9? Nope, 0.6. This is 0.8 and 0.9. But it rides on the inside one, so I'm going to make sure the smaller groove is on the inside for me right now. But my point here is you got to make sure when you're doing this, well, that didn't go on very well. When you are doing this, that you get the right groove for the right wire. All wire is not created equal, and all these little rollers don't create them equally. There we go. That wasn't, kind of had a little bit of a stick in there. And then we're going to just snug this up. I doubt it needs to be too awful tight. And we are going to proceed to try and put the wire on here. And here's our spool of wire here. I have not opened this one up, as you can see. That's another thing, once you open these up, they do kind of start corroding. I want to get one of those. They have some little things you can put on them that ride on them to keep the corrosion down. I've probably talked about all this in the past, but regardless, I'm doing this video. Anyhow, so I am actually going to try and kind of put this back together, so to speak, over the top of my other one, just to keep the air off of it and the corrosion off of it. It actually looks like I did open this up, I think, because I think I actually taped that up right there. So, but it still has the thing around here, so right now I don't have to worry about the whole thing coming apart. I'm going to keep that for the other one to put back in. And there's the shipping damage, like I said. Now I was told it'll be fine. Let's hope that they are telling the truth, because quite honestly it's been a couple years, maybe a year or two at least, probably actually, that I bought this, so I'm sure they probably won't do anything as if I had a problem or not. We'll see. If I have a problem, I'll still call them. HTP wire. And I will say the company was nice. They were pretty cool about it. They said just bust it off the rest of the way so that it doesn't cause problems that way. And then be careful. Now, yet again, we have where they brought the wire out through and up into here. So we're going to have to be very careful. I'm going to leave this on until I get this through. Okay. Whoa. See, it just kind of tried to go on me. So keep a hold of it. Alright. I am just going to leave that on there for now and put it on here. I'm going to cut this hopefully straight. Get that out of there so we don't have any problems. This is the one thing about this machine with these 10-pound spools. It is very difficult to get my fat fingers up in here to put them on. So I'm going to hold this while I string it in there. We're going to make sure that's riding in there. I got that on there. I'm going to go ahead and put this down, put that up. And I'll have to adjust this probably a little tighter for the size of wire I have. This also has numbers on it. I honestly don't know exactly what they're all for. Alright. Now I'm going to go ahead and peel that off. Maybe. And from there we should be able to plug this in and start spooling our wire out. I really hope I don't have problems right here. I'm going to snug this just a little bit just to well, maybe not. That was a little bit too snug here. Sometimes if you pull back on it, you can kind of feel it. I'm going to call that good. Now, you got to turn the machine on, take your tip out of the front there, hit the trigger, and it should feed it through. I think I've already done this on other videos that I've done on this Eastwood machine, so pretty much this was just changing one spool for another. The main thing is to wrap that up so you don't have problems with it coming loose when it's in storage. Now I'm going to put that in the bag, put it back in the box, and stick it in my drawer. Alright, thanks for watching Junkworks DIY Garage, where I'm proud to say I'm a jack of all, master of none. You all have a good one.